Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pizzas Here podcast, season 2, episode 6. Today we are joined by yet another special guest, Chris Cerullo, a writer from Russian Machine Never Breaks, a very well-known Washington Capitals blog and podcast. He graduated from Catholic University's Business School and has been with RMNB since 2006. Chris, how's it going, buddy?
Bro, 2006. How old do you think I am?
Did I say 6? I meant 16.
Yes, you did.
My bad.
Yeah. I'm good. How are you boys?
We are fantastic.
We're good. We're good. Happy to have you here. Thanks for coming on.
Happy to be here.
All right. So, Chris, so you write articles for Russian Machine Never Breaks. What's that like? And how'd you get first started with RMNB?
It's pretty nuts, right? I'm definitely like underqualified to write for the size of audience we have. You know, like you said, I graduated with like just a marketing degree, so I had no actual experience writing or anything when Ian hit me up one day and just brought me in. So like basically all I have is 3 shitty years of Maryland high school hockey. That's basically all I have that experience wise to talk about hockey. And I guess that kind of leads to the second part. There's not really a big story behind it. I used to comment a lot on Rush Machine, like back in the day, I guess. And they used to call me Chris from the comments. And Ian like saw me commenting like a shit ton and just like hit me up on Facebook one day. I think it was like my junior year in college. And like I just started out doing like live blogs. Like I remember that was the year they played the Flyers in the playoffs, I think.
2016. That was tough.
Neuwirth was just fucking insane.
That was
no
unreal.
Yeah.
That was the worst. That was like.
Yeah, that's when I started.
I remember one goal from that series, and we shot it like 3 quarters down the ice, and it went in.
Our 4th member, Will, has just joined the call. What's up, Will?
Will, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Will, but we were just booing you.
Because we can boo people on this app.
Oh, it's
Hold on, he just typed in the chat.
Will can talk when he can talk.
Yeah.
Any look?
Chris from the comments.
I heard you.
Not me.
There we go. We hear you, Will. How's it going, Will?
What's up?
How was dinner with the Rents?
It was good. I went out with my roommates and my parents, and we got some Chinese food, so it's always good.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
All right.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah. Sorry. So with RMNB, what's your favorite article that you've ever written for them, and like kind of tell us about it?
I saw this question on Twitter, and honestly, I have like such a shit memory, and I've done so many that they've just all blended together in my brain.
Yeah.
But like one that sticks out is probably like you guys know I do like the morning numbers posts or whatever.
Yeah.
The one for the after they won the cup. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I just got to list all the stupid good shit they did during the run and stuff. I also really like to do like draft previews and grades and stuff. Like I have no qualifications to be able to do that, but I mean it's fun, right? But yeah, like everything, like I've done so many posts just recently and stuff, so it all blends together. Like if you asked me if I did a recap of a Caps game last week, I would not be able to tell you if I did or not.
No, I feel you.
I feel that completely.
I just wanted to say, hold on. First up, Tom Wilson just fucking destroyed Jari with the puck. That's 6-1.
Yeah, but Jari's stopping everybody except fucking Ovi.
Wait, it's 6-1. I must have like a slightly delayed stream.
Yeah,
He's stopping.
Just shut up.
He isn't stopping.
First things first. Before I answer my question, is I only was on screen for me a minute while you were answering your question, and I was like smiling. I was like, this needs to get off my screen. I don't know why I'm still on screen, but I'm going to start with my question. For RMDB, how do the articles get assigned to different writers? Like, what's the process of like deciding articles? Is it like a pick and choose system, or is it like somebody? I don't remember who's up top, but the guy who's on top kind of just dishes out the articles for everybody else to make.
Yeah, like Peter replied to this on Twitter, like joking, like how we're still trying to figure this out, and that's not exactly even a joke. Like, it's basically a first come, like first serve kind of deal. If you want to write about something, like Ian and Peter, who are the two co-founders, if you don't know, they'll pretty much let you write about whatever you want, like within reason, I guess. Like I've joked in the past about like wanting to write about the best like ever WWE champions, and like Ian says I can do it if I want to. Like different writers have like like to do different shit. Like Ian dominates like the news posts like better than like anyone in hockey, and then Peter will do like the long analytic shit and like super reflective and insightful stuff. And I just try to be like 1/24th as good as they are at both of those things.
Highly qualified.
Yeah. And like my main post that I'm known for, and big air quotes on known for, is the numbers for the morning after post, where I go over the numbers after every game. It's also an excuse for me to like bitch and complain about the coaching and stuff like that.
We love doing that, so I get
Yeah,
that.
that's a fan favorite.
So,
All right.
should I ask the next question?
Yes.
No.
That's tough. So I guess going off of like the articles and stuff, what are like your individual favorite topics to write about?
Like my favorite stuff, and just in general with RMNB, is when I just get to like be a shitlord and try to be funny and stuff on like Twitter. So like when I have the recap, like that means I'll have control over the Twitter. So I just get to like try and be funny and stuff. Or in my morning like numbers post, I get to complain about the team, with like math. So if somebody says like you're wrong, no, I'm not, because it's numbers. You can't say that.
Analytics are only true if they go in our favor of our narrative.
Exactly.
Analytics are bullshit.
Analytics are facts because they support Nick Jensen.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's not
Isn't
wrong.
he first in plus minus right now in
Jensen
the
for
NHL?
North.
I
Dude?
believe he is.
Jensen for
He's
North.
or
I was there in
Ovechkin.
2019. Don't forget it.
Yep.
Or
Oh, yeah.
Ovechkin. I think Ovechkin might be number one because he had those 2 assists today.
Yeah, but just trying to be funny and stuff like that.
Trying.
I don't
Yeah,
say trying. Say
definitely
being
big-
funny. Be
Big
confident.
emphasis on emphasis on trying.
You are
No,
funny.
You
Come
are
on.
funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you don't think I'm funny, I'll block you. So
I think you're hilarious.
Yeah.
What's the one guy's name who we were all bullying? The Sabres guy who was like,
Oh, the
Muhammad.
girl.
not
Oh.
no,
Oh,
was
the
the guy on
girl that
Twitter.
tweeted back at me.
It's Slavin.
Oh,
yeah,
Slava.
yeah.
We
We're
had
all bullying him.
Dude, someone pull
Dude
up
was
the
like,
quote.
anytime you were saying someone was wrong, it was like, blocked, don't care, your opinion is irrelevant. And
Jake, pull up the quote of the lady that commented on
Oh
your
my
post.
god, it's my favorite.
We all
I
just like
tweeted-
we all just copy it and pasted it and just responded
I
to her with
tweeted
her
it the other
exact
day because
comment.
the Sabres were like 2-7.
The Sabres started off with like top 5 in the NHL, and they haven't they've lost like 6 straight or something. It's hilarious.
It was right here. It's I don't think so. I think we totally
No,
played
say
the
the
best game
original
of the
thing
year.
first. You said the original thing you said.
Me or
Yeah,
What
you
was
said.
your original post
Need
that
the
made her say
context.
that?
I said the Sabres are gonna lose 5 straight.
have they
Didn't
lost
they?
5
She
straight?
said, yeah.
Oh, no, they
lost-
beat
I think
Edmonton. They beat
close.
Edmonton. They didn't lose 5
They were
straight.
close. They were close.
They were close.
I don't think so. I think we totally played the best game of the year. We beat them. We beat them in everything but the score. Our Sabres never gave
Our
up, and
Sabres,
So
hammer
you're
and
I'm
lost.
sickle.
proud of them. And then she goes, "Your shot," in quotes, was one of those. How do you say no? How do you? Yeah.
I mean, she
How do
might
you
as
say
well
you
be
know
on the
nothing
Sabres.
about
Should never be
hockey?
given this
She
ability
goes,
to
"How
use
do you
those
say
things. We're abusing them
Yeah.
so much.
your shot?" Was one of those. How do you say you know nothing about hockey without saying it? Also in quotes.
And now look at her team's record in the
And-
last 2 weeks.
The tweet was, they were. Fuck. You guys can go. It's
Yeah, it's all
All right. So wait, I have a quick question though, Chris. Because I was looking at your Instagram. Did you go to Good Counsel?
Yes, sir. That's where I played.
Hey,
Dude, I went to Paint Branch and Jake went to Gaithersburg.
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I would-
local boys. That's what I'm talking about.
I would have club lacrosse practice at Good Counsel like every week.
Actually, do you know anything about the football coaches at Good Counsel, like in the more recent?
And Will went to
years?
Northwest. I forgot that one.
Who was
Like,
the old?
I'm-
Like the
Bob Malloy
old
was the
football
old
coach.
coach.
I had when I played football and I did Good Counsel football camps. He was always the coach when I went.
I went
My
to the
JV
school with like Stefan Diggs, Kendall Fuller,
Yeah.
all those guys.
That's
He was one of the
insane.
counselors one. He was one of the counselors one year. He was my counselor. Dope.
Dude, Did you know Stephon Diggs, or did you just like go to school?
I
with him?
did not. I didn't know him, but I got him to sign my yearbook because like everybody there knew that dude
Sell
was
your
going to
yearbook.
be in the NFL.
Right.
Cut it out of your yearbook and sell it.
I
Yeah.
found the red.
I will give
it
you an
says-
old picture of Stephon Diggs for $50, and someone will buy it.
Me and Malloy would bond because he was a diabetic as well. So he would come up to me and was like, anything you need.
Happy Diabetics Awareness Month.
Yeah,
Shout out to
And
absolutely.
it's day
Shout out to
too.
our
It's
boy.
Diabetics Awareness Day.
Shout out to
Shout
our
out
boy
Jake.
Jake.
No,
Alright,
I
so-
I found the tweet, by the way. It's the Saber. It says since this was tweeted at me, the Sabres are 2-4-2.
Well,
All right.
Well,
So Chris, obviously Stephon Diggs is up there, but have you had any memorable or interesting interactions with any Caps players? And just in general, what would be your most memorable moment in your time as a hockey writer?
I haven't got a chance to meet a whole ton of guys, but I did go to like, oh, just to preface, I guess, like Alex Alexiev, you guys know who it is, right?
hell yeah, we
Yeah.
know. He is.
He likes like every single one of Rush Machine's Instagram posts, so he's like our biggest fan, I guess.
We love him.
And like I got to play in like a media game that the Caps did like a couple years ago, I think. And like him and Jonas Siegenthaler were there, and they were like running drills and stuff. And this was like, and like Alexiev had just posted like a couple days before that he was like at Topgolf or something. So I just went over to him to like bust his balls about like, and we just started talking about like just random shit. And then like an hour later, he just comes up to me randomly and like not prompted by me, and he's like, "Hey, do you like my golf swing?" I was like, "What is this?" Is just like an insane like experience. Like, yeah, and he's like such a nice like that dude is such a nice kid, and like I'm like really rooting for him to, like one day like cement himself in the NHL, hopefully. And that whole day is probably just my most memorable time as like a hockey writer. Like I was out there with like Tariq from The Athletic, and Locker was in our locker room. I met Todd Reardon. I met our boy Blaine Forsyth. So yeah, that was pretty
well,
fun.
Blaine
Todd
Forsyth. He's
Hey, we
So-
gotta
so
put
what
PG
you're
that
saying,
he's
so what
innocent.
you're saying is that you can get Alexiev on the podcast and tweet at him because he'll see it.
I've tried to talk to him after that. I'm not sure he knows who I am exactly, but yeah.
Just post on the RMNB account and be like, "Hey, it's Chris, the guy you talked to about Topgolf. This super cool podcast wants you on the show. You mind hitting them up?"
It's worth a shot.
absolutely
I'll hold you to that.
worth a shot.
All right, go ahead, Jake. Or actually, never mind.
No,
All right,
you're
so
too.
yeah, so my bad. So all right, so we've had 3 games since our last episode. They've actually gone pretty well, given that it's the Capitals. But last episode we had come back after making predictions and we were all terribly wrong. We had gone 0-3 over that stretch. But it's looking on the bright side now. Since our last episode, we're 3-0. On Monday we beat the Sabres 5-3.
Gotta be 4-0.
Thursday we beat the Wings 2-0, and then on Friday we beat the Jackets 4-3. And right now, as we speak, there's like 6 minutes left. We're beating the Pens 6-1. I believe the Pens are the last place in the Metro right now.
Seventh.
I love
They're
to
still
see that.
positive though. They're still like
They're seventh.
That's just 'cause the Metro is so insanely good. You
Metro
can
is
be
a
positive.
tank division.
You
Tank isn't
can
good,
be
not tank.
positive in the Metro and still be in last place. That's what's insane about our division. Meanwhile, in the Canadian division last year, you could go 500 and be in first place. But yeah. So we're taking a dump on the Penguins. I find that funny because a lot of us had them in like the top 3 of the division in like our first episode this season. We all thought they were going to be a lot better than they are right now. But we're 4-0 now from our last episode. I guess we could call this game a wrap. Knock on wood.
Each
Call it
shit
the
pit.
Brazil.
They
Bill,
score
dude.
5 goals in fucking 5
They
minutes.
just score
man. I'm
5
eating my
goals in
own
the next
shit.
5
I
minutes
don't
and
care.
30 seconds.
Each shit
yeah.
pit.
Anyways, yeah. So things are looking pretty good right now, considering that we're without like 3 or 4 of our top players. But what are your guys' thoughts on the last stretch of games? Obviously things are good so far right now. The last 4 games have been a success, but obviously in every good performance, there's plenty of bad. I mean, goaltending's been a little shaky. Cough, Samsonov, cough. And John Carlson can't play defense. But what are your guys' thoughts on the last few games?
Pretty good. I don't think
I
there's
was
much.
I was very happy with them. I mean, we're playing with what is essentially like missing a second line.
Yeah, literally.
And we went 3-0, fingers crossed 4-0.
Yeah.
That said, like McMichael looks like a top 6 NHL player
I agree.
right now.
Top 6, like period. Just like,
Like
he's
no,
top
no,
6
no,
in
no.
the league.
Top 6 forward. Like
This
top
bro's
6.
top 6
like,
in the league. You got
as in, like,
McDavid, Draisaitl,
McDavid, Draisaitl,
Ovechkin,
Ovechkin.
McKinnon, Crosby, and then you got McMichael.
McMichael's over Crosby right now. Look at the game score.
Yeah.
Dude,
No,
Crosby
but, like,
should be suspended. Oh my God! Did you see what he
that
did
was
to
awful.
Faravari?
Yeah, I don't know how that's not.
He literally threw Faravari face first into the boards like a wrestling toss.
It's Sidney
That's a
Crosby. He can
suspension.
do no
Holy
wrong.
shit.
He just got off of the COVID list. He had bigger issues. Couldn't smell for probably a week or something.
I mean, that doesn't mean he had COVID necessarily,
It's true.
right? He could have been exposed and then put to that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
I don't know.
He missed a lot of the time though for what it was worth.
He was injured too, so he's had a rough start.
This is the year McDavid finally. I'm a fucking not.
Also,
McDavid,
I don't
Crosby
think
kinda
Samsonov
falls
was
off.
that bad. I was gonna say that. I don't know. He's so back and forth. I'm kind of.
It's hard to
Who?
tell if he's bad or good because
I
the
know.
way he plays.
Who, Carlson?
Samsonov.
Samsonov.
Carlson was a little
Samsonov.
dicey.
No,
Carlson too.
Carlson's in the
is
same
fucking-
boat. This
Carlson-
motherfucker
No,
goes guys
Carlson
and
is
says,
Carlson.
I'm gonna
is
flip a
just
coin and we're
bad.
gonna decide how this game's gonna go. That's how that's gonna happen. He flips a coin. Oh, it's tails. Oh, looks like you're playing like dog shit today, boys. Oh,
Carlson's
not
Mid.
playing his best hockey right now, but
he's from the Midwest because he's mid.
That's what he is.
His defense, mid. His
Mid.
puck handling skills, mid. And of course, the place he's from, America, mid.
Fuck.
Does anybody know who does that? Who actually says
Yeah,
that? Anybody?
He's a wrestler. I know that.
Yeah, MJF. He's fucking awesome.
I don't know that.
If you don't know what AEW is, MJF is awesome. Shout out to my boy MJF.
Chris, Peter Hassett
Yeah.
said that he'd like you to talk about your IG follows.
All right,
Let's
let's not go into that, please.
Hold on.
What's up with that? What?
No. Let's
Look.
take a look.
Look, I don't use Instagram. Okay, the only the only reason
Yeah,
I
just
have
like-
Instagram is to look at attractive women. Okay.
Well,
And
you just
Peter knows
knows
this.
We don't object
Wait,
Defy
this is the
women
perfect
here,
time to go into the
PhD.
Manscaped attic.
Peter knows this because if you remember in the past, people that follow you used to be able to see what you liked, and he would always shit on me for what I like. So like all of my likes are either animals, attractive women, or sports teams. That's about
Hey
it.
Chris, what's your Instagram?
CJC _ 95.
Yeah, there you go.
CJC. Oh, there we go.
Anything a growing boy really needs. Sports
All
teams,
right,
animals,
let's
women.
take a look at this. We got Billie
We don't
Eilish,
object-
respectable.
We don't
Um,
objectify. No, we're not rating women on the Pizzas Here podcast. Joey,
I'm not
stop it.
rating them. I was just making.
We're
a
not.
joke.
We're
I'm
not
gonna-
judging how women look
I'm
on the
just like-
PHP.
Holy
We're not
fuck,
Mark Zuckerberg.
dude!
All right, back to hockey. Let's not get in any dangerous waters.
I'm not getting.
Um,
I'm just saying.
So we beat everyone's favorite team, the Buffalo Sabres. Speaking of the Buffalo
America's
Sabres,
team.
we haven't
America's
even said
team.
it on the show yet, but Jack Eichel finally got traded. He got traded to someone who
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't really like,
Yeah.
but we're glad that he got traded at least and has his surgery. He had it a few days ago, and apparently it went successful. He already is going on walks and whatnot, so good for
Yeah.
him.
I
But he went to the Vegas Golden Knights. I think Vegas is going to gain a lot from that trade if he can come back healthy and be
Absolutely.
even like
They already got
sure.
Stone back.
If he can
Yeah,
come back
Nick
and be
Dowd
half of the
is their
player that he
biggest
was,
That's a
then
huge guy
I
for
think
them
that's
as
great for
well.
them.
I think he will, especially because he hasn't played in a while. And I don't even care what team. As long as he got the care he needed, I wouldn't have cared. He was getting the care he needed anywhere else he would have gone. So I was glad he's getting it because he's a great player.
Yeah, I'm glad that
He's fun to
doing
watch.
well.
So
It's just insane to me that was even like
He did
possible.
it for the Olympics.
I don't
too.
understand how it's legal. I really don't.
I don't either.
How
It's
they
just-
withdrew
it's
surgery
NHL
or they
boys
couldn't
club
give him
bullshit.
surgery.
But yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like that. Like Vegas just kind of just took like massive shots at Buffalo, just
How do
saying
I
stuff
mute
like
on this thing?
we gave him the surgery he needed immediately, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we like. It's just so dumb. Like the surgery they wanted to give Eichel, apparently he was still going to be in pain. Like, how could you as
Right.
an organization just be like, that's fine?
The Cheapskate Pagulas are at it again.
I hate Pagula so much.
So bad.
Yeah. So
America's team, Buffalo Sabres, though. America's team.
so going to more Caps news.
Sorry.
Just on what day was it when we played the Jackets?
Blue Jackets.
Was that
It was
Saturday?
Friday.
Friday. So Friday, our beloved Alexander Ovechkin took over sole possession of 4th place in the all-time goals list. I think we're all pretty happy about that, to say the least.
No, it's awful.
He's gonna get to 3rd by the end of the year. So Yager, we're coming for you. Yeah, but sorry, Brett Hull. I liked your congratulatory video. Thanks for that.
Made one. Fucking Lemieux still hasn't made one.
Yeah, he's upset.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yager's going to come back to North America, and
he's going to come back the night Ovechkin's going to make it. He's going to sign a one-day contract and just try to take him out.
Yeah, Yager would fucking do that shit.
He could. He's
son
playing
was-
professional
Yager's
hockey
a
right now.
psychopath.
He's not. Yeah,
Yager's a
retired.
psychopath. He would totally do that.
He would sign back with the Capitals like he did the one time. And then
That would be hilarious.
That'd
He
be
just
funny,
fights Ovi at practice.
Yeah.
Just get him that last cup.
Right. So
Tanya action. Break his kneecap.
like
you
the
pays
guy
him
on
to
the
go to
Nats.
the
What was the guy on the Nats that was beefing with Bryce Harper, the catcher?
Jonathan
I think?
Papelbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful contract. Hate him.
All right. Someone go to the next bullet while I plug in my.
So we got goaltenders to talk about. We're going to start out with Jake. Talk about our young man, Zach Fucali. That's how you say it properly. He
Amazing
shut
debut.
out a Detroit offense that's really good, actually. And how impressed were you? Were you surprised he was sending down any comments?
Of course, I was impressed, especially his story.
Nah, it was mediocre. That's why we sent him
yeah.
back.
Yes, we sent him back. But no, first off, besides his performance, his story in general, how he drafted in 2013. He was drafted a while ago for
same draft as
making a debut.
is that the same draft as Forsberg?
Was he
Caps
drafted in
legend?
2013?
Possibly.
I don't know. I saw a post, but I
wasn't.
forgot. But he's been up and down in the minors and all that stuff, and finally made his debut. And in his debut, makes a shutout. First Caps goalie in history to get a shutout in his debut. And again, like you said, whoever said it, whatever. Thank you. Great, pretty good Red Wings offense right now. So
Bertuzzi is scoring a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a real booster to that offense. So we have also Vitek
A booster
Vanacek.
shot, if you will.
Yeah, it was a joke. We have Vitek Vanacek tonight is playing very well. Daniel Sprague's going down the tunnel. I'm depressed. Vitek Vanacek's played very well tonight. He also started against Buffalo. I mean, they scored a quick gimme goal. I don't give a shit about. It was fucking Colin Miller putting a puck so fast past him. But I think Vitek has played very well. I think he's definitely established as our starter, especially tonight. After playing as well as he did against the Penguins, obviously it's going to be a victory. They got 53 seconds left. I'd be very shocked if they scored 5 goals.
Hey, you never know.
Dude, they're not going to. Just stop. But I think, in my opinion, it's been very good for him. He has been very good. He's been our best goaltender this year by far. I think if we were to see more of Zach Fucali, maybe, but I think he's been our best this year. So we'll talk about our boy Samsonov, our lovely, lovely Russian boy. What do you think?
I mean, what about him? There's so many things. He will. I just don't know what to think. Like, did you watch the Columbus game? I assume.
Yeah.
And the dude would go crazy at times, making insane saves. And then, look, I don't think either of the goals that we gave up in that 11-second span were necessarily his fault.
Excuse me.
But you got to get one of them. You just have to. You have to get one of those. You have to stop one of those shots because you can't be giving up 2 goals in 11 seconds.
Sean Corrales scoring is a bane of my existence.
Twice.
So, twice. I literally went into a space on Thursday and was talking shit about Sean Corrales, and he scores 2 goals the next day. I felt like
just like you did with Connor Sherry.
Listen, all right. At least it's my own team, and he's scoring for us. Okay.
You scored again today, yeah?
Yep. Shut up, man. I don't
Just
care.
because Joey tried to short on him.
Dang, I love
Put Daniel Sprague on the power play. Shut the fuck up. I hate you.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about Samsonov. I mean, you can't trade him yet.
I was talking to Will the other day. I don't know. It was sometime near the end of last week, but I was on naturalstattrick.com, just
Oh,
trying to
dear.
become an analytics guy, just like Stat Guy Blake. Love him. But yeah, so I'm looking through goalie statistics and analytics and whatnot, and I discovered, I don't know if it's exactly the same now, but at the time of looking at this, Samsonov was second worst in the league for average distance from the net he gets scored on from. And so like most goalies in this are like somewhere between 10 and 20 feet from the goal, just average. But Samsonov's average distance from the goal he got scored on by was 36 feet. How is your average so high, considering that there's goals from close? That means that there must be goals farther from 35. How is your average distance from the goal you're getting scored on 36 feet?
The Corrali goal was pretty far. The first one was pretty far.
This was
the
before
one where he
the
just
Blue
got beat
Jackets.
hard on the
This was
side.
before the Blue Jackets.
Oh, I don't know.
So without that, before his average distance
no,
getting
it's
scored
Montour goal. Remember how he got scored on by Montour against?
Yeah, but I mean, if you've taken any statistics class, one goal isn't going to just skyrocket it. It's going to play a factor, but it's not like it's going to just destroy it.
He hasn't played that much. This is like his fourth game.
The only person with a worse in that category was Mike Smith. It's Mike Smith, but Samsonov was second to worst in the league, so that's very scary.
Mike's not getting paid to stop goals; he's getting paid to watch.
Exactly. I also was comparing VTech to Samsonov just in general stats, and VTech's GSAA, which is goals saved above average, his is 1.44, which is good. He's doing above average in the situation of making saves compared to how many you'd expect a goalie average to save. So he was doing good. Samsonov was negative 1.44, which means he's letting in more than an average goaltender would be expected in the different scenarios where they're being shot on from, who it's shooting, etc. So there's that. Obviously, his save percentage is a little lower. His is just around 0.9. VTech's is around 0.933. Samsonov's letting in about 2.5 goals a game. VTech's letting in about 1.7. So it's not just our eyes telling us that VTech's better. It's not just what we're watching in the game. Statistics-wise, VTech is clearly performing better right now. So,
yeah, Chris, what do you think about all the goaltender situation? Who do you like going forward between Vanacek and Samsonov? I know you probably have a good opinion because you do a lot of the number stuff for RMNB.
Goalie stats shit. I don't understand any of it. So I'm shit with that stuff. But I do come with hot takes. So I got you there. I think you got to roll with these two dudes until at least the deadline, and then you make a decision there. If Samsonov is just horrendous at that point, then you got to reassess things. But I think with Foucault, it's definitely more of a off-season question, and unless things get really, really terrible this season before that, but or unless they do something like crazy and trade for John Gibson, then becomes a null point anyway. But I think you just got to ride these guys. VTech's obviously the better goalie in my opinion, but yeah. Last
week when we were talking with Travis, we made the bold take, trade Samsonov for
you guys did. I said trade fucking Carl Hagwood about
for Marc-Andre Fleury for Samsonov 1-for-1. Who says no?
Fleury's done.
Dude, I would absolutely love to get.
I think Marc-Andre Fleury would be pretty good, at least as a backup or a guy to come in. Imagine it be like him. It'd be like the 2015 Blackhawks when they had Delia and Crawford. Or Ronson. I don't remember which one they had. I think they had Ronson.
You say John Gibson. Is John Gibson looking to leave?
No, they're good. They're really good. They're
for some reason the Ducks have won 6 in a row.
Yeah,
but before
that.
Yeah.
They're actually Troy Terry. He's a top 5 NHL scorer this year.
Troy Terry's playing out of
nasty, bro.
He's my pick later for
fuck you. God damn it, EA. That's fine too.
I wrote it down 3 days ago.
I literally screenshotted the Instagram post on NHL to not forget.
I picked him up off of waivers in fantasy, and he's just carrying for me. It's amazing.
Bro, you picked him up off of waivers?
Matt Duchene is also playing out of his mind. He has like
I'll
14
find
in the
someone
last
else.
10.
I'll find someone
Matt
else.
Duchene has like 14 points in his last 10.
Ow.
The Preds are on the rise, but
Ow.
no, yeah. If we could, I don't think it would happen, but if we could somehow get John Gibson, I would buy
Look
his
at
jersey
John
that
Gibson.
day.
We're the fucking cup boys.
I'd buy his jersey that day
They don't
because
win the
he's
cup.
he's
It's
such a
fucking-
talented goaltender. He's just been in a garbage franchise for his career.
I would love
Obviously,
Gibson.
That's
they're doing
if you were to
better
get
right
Gibson.
now.
I'll be honest. If you want to get Gibson, you're probably gonna have to give them Samsung.
Oh,
No,
By the
check.
way,
You're gonna-
Troy Terry does have another point tonight.
I
Oh,
feel
what?
like he has a point streak of like 20 games.
Yeah,
It's something
14
crazy we're
games.
talking about.
14 games.
On it, I mean, I think Samsonov still has some trade value considering he's done somewhat well in the past, and obviously, it's been a general consensus that he does have a ceiling. He does have the potential to be a good starting goaltender. He's just not cutting it right now.
He does have a shutout this year. We do know that, right? He shut out.
But-
Yeah.
He's not like played bad.
One game,
I
though.
think personally speaking, the game against like Florida just shot his confidence a lot because that game looked like something was going on mentally, and then like he goes back out on the ice, and the first goal he gets interfered with, and it's like, well, I'm fucked. Like I don't know what to do. And then the Montour goal was like, if I let in that Montour goal, I would pull myself. I'd be like, you know what? I'm fucking good. I don't need Brandon Montour scoring on me. I am gonna go.
I'd buy Gibson's jersey the day they announce the trade if we get
Absolutely, I would too. But I don't think
because he'd be here for a while. He's still very young. He's
Absolutely.
he's
He's
as good as he
26.
is right now at a young age, and
He's
you know
26.
everybody
He's
knows that
I thought he's
goaltenders.
27 or
He-
28 now.
He
I think
dude
he's
doesn't
like
fucking matter,
26
man.
or
He's young as
27.
shit. He'd be like our
He's
third
really
youngest
young.
player. Actually, we're pretty young this year. I can't.
No,
lie.
we're,
Also-
dude, we went from
also-
a senior citizen home to a daycare.
I got
Fuck yeah! And we're winning again.
Our babies.
Our
Oh,
babies.
that hurts.
Speaking of one
I
of
got-
our babies,
Wait,
we're
wait,
not-
wait,
wait,
Sam,
hold on.
wait,
All right,
wait, Sam.
I got parents in town this weekend, so I got a lot of stuff I have to do. But sorry to just pop in for a minute. But yeah.
Everybody say bye to Will.
I'll give him a clap. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll give you a clap since we booed you coming in. Who fucking booed him?
I booed him
It's
for
not me.
leaving.
I hit clap.
I respect it.
No problem. All right,
thanks,
Will,
guys.
take
I
care.
will
Tell your
talk
family
to
we
y'all.
say
Have a great
hello.
one.
Take great care,
All right,
man.
Will.
Go. Hey, by the
We'll
way,
see ya.
horns down, buddy.
WVU Texas.
I
next
brought
weekend.
them to
I
this
didn't do it.
game.
I
I
didn't do
literally
it.
brought them.
Will,
I
I didn't
brought
do it.
them
You
to
brought
the
your
Kansas game.
parents?
Yes, we went to the
Oh
game.
my God.
Oh yeah, I see you
Kansas?
tweeted that.
I'm
I'm so
sorry.
sorry. Both of us sucked yesterday. It's okay.
It's harsh.
Virginia
And
Tech
on that
won,
note,
baby.
on that note, y'all have a good one. That was
All right, well.
Trip to
Now,
bowl
see you later,
eligible.
buddy.
Road to
Fuck
bowl
off.
eligible.
All right.
Bowl
so-
eligible, baby. 5-5. All right.
So,
So
now
now-
next
66. Gotta be
next
66.
in cap
Gotta be
news.
66. Gotta be
All right.
66.
Anyways, all right. So next for cap news, Caps news. So today, I think we're all happy about this. Our boy Nic Dowd re-signed for 3 years, 1.3 mil average value. I think it's not the greatest deal for a 4-line center, but there's definitely worse.
mind
It
it.
definitely could be worse.
Vancouver paid
And
Jake Eagle $3 million.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with re-signing a 4C that you're familiar with. There's nothing bad that can come from keeping a guy who's reliable, our best face-off guy around. So I'm
Right.
completely happy about him.
I'm gonna
coming
be
back. I love Nic
100
Dowd.
with y'all. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. That contract just told me one thing, and that's Lars Eller is getting the fuck off this team pretty soon because Connor McMichael is definitely ready to play, and there is nothing stopping him anymore. Like you can't keep Connor McMichael off this roster when like everybody's back. So and next year when we're rolling with Kuznetsov and Backstrom as the top two, I'm sorry, I love Lars Eller, but it's time to go.
He scored today, didn't he? Or
I
like
know
yesterday, the other day?
he had to get
Assist.
assist, but
He's actually
it's
been
not
doing
like
well.
he's bad. I'm gonna be fair. We called out Lars Eller last year. He's actually
Ever
done really
since
well this
Travis
week.
said he was playing like shit last episode, he's been playing very well. So we'll see
Absolutely.
how that continues.
I
or
think
not.
it'll come down to really, do you want a guy who's making like $3 million a year on your roster for like one more year, or a guy who's making 1.3 for the next 3 years? And I think they're going to pick Nic Dowd because Nic Dowd produces at a really great rate for a 4th-line center.
He's
I don't
also
think-
younger, I believe.
Yeah, he's not 30 yet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So he's
Yeah.
probably the one that's kept.
Nic Dowd is not Matthew Dowd. I don't even know who that is. He's an American political pundit and consultant. I don't know who you are, but he's
Screw it.
60.
Put him in his cap.
Nic Dowd is
does.
31, so Nic Dowd's a little older than we would think, but Eller is 32. I'll take the 1 year. Goodbye, Lars Eller. If we can, because next year we have Lapierre, so
Yes.
if we have next year Kuznetsov first center, Backstrom second center, and McMichael and Lapierre 3 and 4. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'll take a little bit more because Lapierre, we're going to talk about that a little more later. I guess I can just say it now, but recently Lapierre went back to the QMJHL with his junior team, Acadie Bathurst Titan. Probably pronounced that completely incorrect, but he went back. As we all know, if a rookie plays more than 10 games on their rookie contract, it counts as a year towards their rookie contract. If they don't and you send them back, then it doesn't count on their deal. Obviously, cap space, we want to send him back so that we can save another year of his rookie contract. We want to save money. It makes sense. As much as we all like Lapierre, and even though he played somewhat well for being a rookie in his first few games in the NHL, he scored a goal. I think we can all agree he's not just quite there. Like he's very close, but he's not ready to be a full-time NHLer yet, at least in my opinion. But with another year of development in the juniors, I think he could 100% be ready next year. So if we bring him next year and have McMichael, obviously that's for completely good centers.
I think he might be better at the wing. I'm not going to lie. I think his face-off.
I'm stupid. That's 5 centers. So if
I was about to say, hold on, you want the?
I'm dumb. Dude? Yeah. So we have Kuznetsov and Backstrom.
Well, the problem if we
put McMichael at 3C and Dowd at 4C, that's perfect.
Put him on the wing. Get Hagman out of here. Yay.
I'm completely fine with Lapierre playing on the wing. I think he's fully capable. I think
you're going to see you're going to see a lot of depth changes next offseason.
That's what I'm saying. Because if we keep Lars Eller, that's not going to work. We can't work with 6 centers, So
Eller, Hagman will probably go. Sherry, I'm not going to lie, Sherry might go too.
I wouldn't like that.
I mean, Daniel Sprong has more upside. He's younger and he's.
I know.
Really good.
All right, Chris, what do you think about the Nic Dowd deal? What do you think about the Nic Dowd deal, Chris?
It's fine. I saw some people complaining about because people always complain when the youth gets when the youth get blocked a little, I guess. But if you think about it, like none of these center prospects like McMichael, Lapierre, Protas, none of those guys are 4th line role center guys anyway.
Right.
I'm always a little wary of like term for like 4th liners because I know we've gotten fucked by it with Hagelin and Panic and stuff like that.
Stonehands Hagelin.
But I mean, the average a year is really small, and it wouldn't be hard to trade away or bury. But at the same time, Dowd has earned it, and I think he's definitely a needed piece on the team, considering we can't win. Faceoffs are overrated in terms of importance, I think, but sometimes you just gotta win a goddamn faceoff, and he's like the only guy on the team that I would trust to do that, other than Backstrom, I guess sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah.
Going back to the Lapierre, I would not be surprised to see him in Hershey all year next year and not with the Caps.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what they did. They probably would have done that with McMichael if this year, obviously, if the entire team didn't decide to get hurt. I think. So yeah, I think we'll probably see, like you guys were just saying, some depth moved off the roster in favor of some youth. Hopefully. I say, because I thought that was going to happen before, and then they brought in fucking Chara and stuff. So hopefully that happens this summer.
Jake,
go ahead. No, go ahead. You said you'd like to speak.
Guess what? Kavita Kombucha just responded to my DM. They just responded to my DM. So they said our podcast sounds awesome, and to email them, and they'll pass it on to the members of their team. So we want some kombucha. So we're working on that.
I'm excited to try it. I actually love kombucha so much.
Anyways, back to what we were talking about. All right.
Well, next up is Kuznetsov. Another good. It's been a good month for Kuznetsov.
I saw EA do the thing. It's just this.
Dude, I swear to God, this is the
worst. Wait. to that.
Go ahead, Joey.
Kuznetsov is now back on the Russian national team because they realized they actually need more than one center because of Evgeny Malkin's their only one. So I remember one of our first episode, we looked at all the rosters, and the biggest thing I remember us saying was that the Russian wings are really good, but their center core is abysmal. With Kuznetsov back, it goes from abysmal to like okay. But do you guys think that Chris? Do you think Russia has a chance now that Kuznetsov's added back to the fold as a center on that team? Because their top center would be Malkin. I think now it would probably be Kuznetsov, considering Malkin's been injured. Do you think there's any chances for Team Russia?
To be honest, first of all, I don't know if it's exactly 100% confirmed, but it pretty much is. I have to say that because I wrote the article today. It's weird, with Russia because like in the past when like you looked at their teams, it was always like they had like 3 NHL D-men, but now it's definitely like down the middle where they're hurting. And they've kind of like rebuilt that D-core like hella quick. There's like Sergachev and Provorov and who else? Like Romanov in Montreal. So they've kind of like rebuilt that D-core pretty quick. And like especially in front of Vasilevsky, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. But center-wise, they need Kuzi because Malkin is probably going to be hobbled still a little bit, just coming back from like major surgery. So yeah, like what do they have after those two guys? Bunch of KHL dudes playing.
Barbashev, Nemestikov, and Grigorenko are the 3 that they have.
Okay.
Nemestikov's not terrible, but I mean, fuck, you got Canada that's putting.
Nemestikov's been doing well.
That scoring
you're
depth
putting
is gonna
Stamkos in the third line for Canada. You're going against Stamkos. You're fucked.
That the scoring depth on Russia is going to compete with Finland and the Czechs and the Slovaks and stuff. But it's always I think it's a 2-horse race, obviously, with Canada and the U.S. Unless the U.S. GM is awful and decides that Seth Jones needs to play
on
30
the first
minutes
line.
Seth Jones.
If John Carlson's on the top 2 pairings, then we're boned.
No, we know John Carlson's going to go to the Olympics.
John Carlson isn't terrible. It'd be
Let's go.
Right now, here's the projected
PHP, baby. Let's go.
Here's the projected defense for the Team Canada. This was a couple years ago. It's Werenski and Jones, Hughes and Carlson, Quinn Hughes, and then Fox and McAvoy. You're probably going to see guys like Krug and Slavin get put in because Slavin is incredible. And Krug is also like a very high velocity guy who goes, I'm going to score a bunch and we'll talk about the defense later.
I can't remember who said it. I can't remember who said it on Twitter the other day, but they made a take. They were like, would it be wrong of me to say that USA's defense is better than Canada's? Honestly, that's not a bad take. It's not a bad take at all.
You have the current Norris winner, Adam Fox. You have
Adam Fox and McAvoy pairing together would be
alone
insane.
Is really good. Carlson is not terrible. He's probably the best scoring defenseman in the entire league.
They're going to put McDonough on the damn ice, and it's going to screw us.
McDonough's also a guy you could throw in there.
I don't want to, though. There's people better than McDonough.
It should be Hughes, Carlson, Fox, McAvoy, Krug, Slavin. That should be the 6, in my opinion. I think you can bring Jones or Werenski.
Petrie will probably be in there, Jeff, whatever his name
That's
is.
true. Petrie's really good. I don't think that'd be
Did we have Olympic team predictions like one of our first couple episodes?
Yeah, yes, that was the first episode with Noah. I'm looking at the exact same articles that from the first episode. I
think, like Chris said, I think it's still going to be a race between USA and Canada for, like, I think they're on a tier of their own, but I don't think teams like Finland or maybe Sweden, but Finland and Russia, I think, are definitely close. They don't have the level of depth that Canada and USA do, but their top few offensive lines are insane. And like you have to remember, Russia has Vasilevsky, so Vasilevsky can save a game by himself. So
the issue with Finland, I want to add, is their projected goaltender at that current time of the article was Tuukka Rask. And I don't know.
They actually said like
they do have Korpisalo and Soros, so it's not like
he said in an interview this week that he's fighting to be back for the Olympics. So
their offense is honestly really good. Their center depth is really good. They've got Barkov, Aho, Hintz, and Kotkaniemi
is really good.
And their wing depth isn't bad either because they're throwing Laine and Rantanen out there after you.
Shout out quick to Joe Beninati. It's his birthday today.
Absolutely, Joe Beninati.
We love you. Because you mentioned Tuukka Rask. That makes me remember one of the first things that Joe B said on season 1, episode 8.
He likes pickles on pizza.
Yeah. Tuukka Rask puts pickles on his pizza. That's atrocious.
To be fair, I have tried it, and it's not bad.
Yeah, you're not going to see me doing that. I'm sorry.
There's a place here called Mountain State Brewing Company, and they have a cheeseburger pizza.
I follow them on Instagram.
Very good. It's a very good pizza.
Go to Devil's Backbone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Big
I
Vienna
think.
lot. Wait.
Oh God.
yeah.
Big
No,
supporter. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm looking at Canada's defense, and the person who said that USA's is really good. Canada's actually might be kind of better.
I mean, that article is not completely accurate, though.
Well, the people they have on here are pretty good. They got McCarr, Hamilton, Theodore Petrangelo, Ekblad, Riley, and then Shabbat and Dowdy.
Yeah. Dowdy is
Sorry.
atrocious now, though.
I'm
Jake,
No,
are
he's
you
been
gonna
pretty good
comment?
this year. Drew
Yeah,
Dowdy's
that's what I'm
pretty
about to comment on. That's what I'm about to comment on. I
Yeah,
do
Drew
not
Dow-
need to be fired into the sun. It was a good pizza, okay? It was the cheeseburger pizza from Mountain State Brewing Company. It was very good. The pickles had a nice touch on it. You have to try it. I don't know who Alpha ZL7 is, but whatever.
He is making some vicious claims against you, my man. I was unreal.
Oh, he says I need to be fired into the sun. Have you tried it?
It's like pineapple on pizza, man. Just don't try it.
Shut up, Joey.
Try it. It's
All right.
better than
Since
pineapple on
Will's
pizza,
since
'cause
Will's
pineapple
not
pizza's
here,
good.
okay, fuck both of you. Since Will's not here, you keep doing. I'm gonna restart. Since Will's not here, the power play, honestly, it actually scored tonight. Wilson scored that nasty breakaway goal on Jerry, but the power play has not been good. Whatever. I'm gonna call him whatever I want to call him. He scored that goal, and then but besides, the power play has not been good. I have noticed that the biggest thing that has been going on is that they're shadowing Ovechkin. They are shadowing him. They're not letting him get open. Anytime he is anywhere near a threatening position, there is somebody got basically heat synced on him. Like Stevens for Detroit did it.
People don't support the goal race cause. It's
Jenner and Corrali were on him yesterday or 2 days ago, and I think tonight it was I think it was a lot of
the one guy on the Jackets that blocked his first shot with his stick. It broke in half, and then he steps back in front and blocks.
I know who you're talking about. I just
Whoever that was, you have my respect. I would not jump in front of his shot once, let alone twice. But good for you on that.
But I think now with Ovechkin getting shadowed, in my personal opinion, I think it has to do with the fact that Oshie and Backstrom are both still out. And when you have all 5 top weapons on the power play, you really with the Capitals power play, every single one of them, I don't think people understand this. Every single one of them can shoot the puck really well. And that's what makes it a threat because you're like, oh, well, you got Ovi's really good shot. Well, yeah, if he throws it over to Kuznetsov, he's burning that shit right by you. Or if it's down low to Backstrom, he's wrapping around and shooting it right by you. Or Oshie's out in front, tipping John Carlson shots. It's a power play that's really good when 100% healthy. It reminds me a lot of what the Penguins ran out when they were winning back-to-back cups. You had obviously Letang at the point running it all. He's the guy who was just howitzering shots. Then of course you have Crosby and Malkin. I think were at opposite. I think Malkin might have been the underneath guy, kind of what Kuznetsov does when everybody's healthy. You had Kessel the other wing, and then you have Hornquist in the middle. It's pretty much the same setup. They basically have the 2 guys on the wings can shoot it really well. The one guy at the point just shoots absolute bombs. And then of course you have the guy in front who's really well built to just get in front of the goaltender, screen him, and then you have the down low guy who is really good at just facilitating the rebounds, getting everybody the puck well, which is what Kuznetsov does the best, I think, on the power plays. He really is good at just facilitating the puck really well, but he's been forced into Backstrom's role, and I don't think that suits him too well. I think Backstrom's a lot better at it because he's able to trust that Ovechkin's at their side, and they've been playing together since they were both drafted. It's easy to build that trust when you've been playing together that long. Chris, do you think it's to do with the injuries that the power play has been kind of bad, or do you think it's something systematic that might be a problem? There's a system Blaine Forsythe needs to be fired, or
Well, the first part is true. It's the injuries definitely are hurting things, but at the same time, I think it's being made worse by the people that he's chosen to replace those players, in my opinion.
Connor Sherry.
One of them, yes. But I think, the main thing people are always complaining about is the slingshot and stuff. And this might be some hardcore copium for me, but I don't think the slingshot is that big of a deal. And I feel like they have to have some sort of analytic basis as to why they keep doing it, and it must show that it works more than it doesn't. So I don't think the entries are the issues, but what I would want to see is I think the current structure with the current guys that are healthy is just not right. Like if I'm coaching, I'm putting Connor McMichael on the goal line where Sherry is, and I'm putting Daniel Sprong in the slot. I think like a lot of the issues right now are you have these guys that they don't have the hands to it's the power play feels rigid. Like they pass it to the same guys every single time. And they'll get one shot, it gets blocked, it gets cleared, and then they'll have issues getting the puck back in. So like if I'm coaching, I'm having the guys with speed and the guys with hands playing those two more down low positions because it becomes a lot less predictable because they can maybe turn and maybe feed Ovi instead of always just going right back to Kuznetsov, who just goes back to Carlson, who then jams Ovechkin with the 19 passes, and then the puck leaves the zone.
That's the point. Ovechkin has to score. But I think
I definitely think.
Yeah.
I definitely think things will be better when we have Oshie and Backstrom back, and even Mantha for the power play. I mean, obviously Ovechkin is our guy. He's known for power play shots. It's his thing. It's the office. But I honestly would say, like, maybe not, but it definitely is arguable. Hot take. Oshie is our second most important player on the power play. I don't know if you guys agree with that in any sense, but
I think the power play was fine.
Oshie scores so many power play goals,
so
just
productive
like
on the
in the middle,
so.
like, right in the slot, right in front of the other team.
That quick trigger shot he catches from backstrom, it's unreal.
He gets copious amounts of chances, either deflecting shots right in front of the net, either getting it in the slot and ripping it right away. And even if he's not touching the puck, that's the thing that's so valuable about him in that position that he's so good at. Even if he's not touching the puck on the power play, just him being there, either shielding the goalie or occupying a defender, just like everything he does on the power play is so valuable to us. So obviously Backstrom, his ability to feed Ovechkin and other players on the power play is going to be insanely good when we get him back. But I think Oshie coming back is going to be very good for both the team and the power play. So that's something to look forward to. Hopefully that can fix things.
Jake also just vanished. The point is I think like you said, the injuries there, but the personnel choices are just really weird. Like you have one of the best 5-on-5 players in Connor McMichael, and you're just not giving him any power play time for whatever reason. Like I get Connor Sheary is productive. He's a good player, but like McMichael's better. Like, I'm sorry, McMichael's better, and he plays Connor Sheary's position a lot better because Connor Sheary is a winger. You have a power player now that's 3 wingers, 3 on the ice. That means only 2 guys at best are good at facilitating the puck and like running the power play. When we're running a healthy power play, it's 2 wingers, 2 centers, one defenseman, and there's a center down low in Kuznetsov. There's a center on the opposite point of Ovechkin in Backstrom, and then there's Carlson at the point. It allows them to be more confident passing to each other. And Oshie also is an amazing passer for whatever we know. And Ovechkin's a good passer too. I'm not saying he's not. I mean, shit, tonight he just started passing dimes to everybody. But I think the biggest thing about this is you need to like give yourself another facilitator or a guy who's, not going to score every time on the power play, but it's going to make
Kuznetsov's doing that.
It needs to be not just him though, because it's just him and Carlson passing the puck back and forth, and it's predictable if you're a defenseman because you're like,
that's
keep it contained to them, and you'll never see the puck go to somewhere dangerous. And if you put McMichael out there, you make him a threat where Sheary is. You can now move Wilson in front of the net for good and have him down low. Kuznetsov can stay up at where he's at or move down low, and if you want McMichael at the other end. And whatever you want to do, it makes it more interesting because right now all the teams are seeing is, it's Connor Sheary. This dude is like not very good at moving the puck, but he can shoot it. So all I got to make sure is watch the puck when I'm around him. And as long as it doesn't get past me, he's a non-factor. And like, that's the thing. Also, Carlson just doesn't shoot from the point at all anymore. Like, I get we want Ovechkin to score, but if Carlson can score that, can we just fucking let him? Like, did somebody tell Carlson like to stop shooting from the point? Because it's annoying how like he always forces the pass, and I'm like, you don't have to force, just fucking take the shot.
Yeah, that same thing was my problem with Brendan Dillon. He would do the same thing. He would shoot. This isn't on the power play, but this is just in general. He would just shoot.
Brendan Dillon on the power play. Oh god.
No, he would just shoot pucks from the point.
Winnipeg Jets 5. Brendan Dillon on the power play.
How is he doing?
Neil
this year?
Pionk had
I'm
that
gonna
one
ask.
really nice goal the other day for the
He's
Jets.
actually
That was-
really good. Neil Pionk,
Right.
he's pretty good. He and Morrissey.
I was talking about Brendan Dillon.
No, we know.
No,
It's just,
we were just saying that.
How's
Yeah,
your
they're
boy
talking.
doing?
They're talking about good hockey players.
yeah, we're talking about great hockey players, not that
Ah.
scrub Ovechkin.
To all of our Caps Chirp listeners, I mean Chirp and DMV listeners, we apologize for any Brendan Dillon slander, but
I
you
mean
know,
this with the
such
most.
is life.
I will say this right now. These two can attest to me. I was a humongous Brendan Dillon truther until that game against the Rangers where he got fucking destroyed.
He
By,
followed me on Twitter, I think, because I was complaining about him.
Good.
And then I
You
just
should have.
noticed
You should have.
recently
You should have said more.
I
should've been
noticed
louder.
recently he unfollowed me.
Good.
Uh,
I hope you enjoy your no airports, Brandon Dillon. You can't fly out and fight me anymore.
Does Braden Holtby still have Washington in his Twitter bio like he did?
I'm sure he does.
Or I know he had like a Caps picture as his profile
I don't think
picture
he's been
or
on his
something.
Twitter. I don't think he's been on his Twitter since he made it. I mean,
Yeah,
he made
I
it for the
know.
team, and then he was like, fuck that," and then just threw it away.
Yeah. So
So,
speaking of injuries,
God,
it was I can't remember exactly who said it today, but a reporter said that Oshie, Backstrom, and Dowd all skated in full gear today at their own individual practices. So I'm happy to hear that. You know, clap
It's
it
good
up.
news, man.
That's
Dude.
great news. We need them back very, very badly. All three of them, and we're not getting Mantha back till at least the playoffs at the very earliest, so that's upsetting. But
Yep.
like we've been talking about for the entire episode, getting Oshie, Backstrom, and Dowd back will be very, very good for the Washington Capitals. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm wearing a Backstrom jersey today in support of him coming back soon. So we love you, Nicholas. Come back.
yes.
But
Love you, Nikki.
yeah,
Thank
so
you. Love
we
you,
were talking a
Nikki.
little bit about it earlier for like next
Love
year.
you, Nikki.
You know, might lose Eller or somebody. All right, Joey. Yeah, but obviously next year is a toss-up. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet with having like 5 or 6 good NHL playable centers. But for this year, the center situation is going to be a little iffy when Backstrom and Dowd come back because obviously we have Kuznetsov on the first line, Backstrom on the second line, Dowd on the fourth line. The third line, what are we going to do? Connor McMichael is like a top 3 player on our team right now for the last couple weeks. He's been playing out of his mind. Even if he's not scoring a shit ton of goals, he's producing well. Analytically, he looks insane. He creates an absolute boatload of chances. He's sound defensively for the most part. Connor McMichael is turning out so far to be the guy that we all want him to be and know he can be. So shout out future of the Washington Capitals.
Absolutely.
Future looks good.
Next
What
to
do
me,
we-
Crosby.
What do we think's going to happen though? Because I mean, I want to hear what Chris thinks.
Yeah, I want to hear what Chris says.
If we have Kuznetsov on the first line, Backstrom on the second line, that's a lock. Dowd is pretty much a lock for the fourth line. No one's going to change that. What do you think's going to happen? Do we put McMichael on a wing or something? Do we put Eller on the bench? What do we do? What do you think's going to happen, and what do you want, or what do you think's going to happen, and what would you do?
Well, we know what's going to happen is it's going to be Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Eller, Dowd. And then McMichael or Sprong will be getting scratched every night. That's what's going to happen, I think.
Carl Hagelin, man?
It's not going to happen.
I'd like to oppose a possibility. Do you think there's a chance? Because with Mantha being out now, there's an open spot at the wing, and there's a good chance if we're keeping one of the forwards that's currently, it's going to be McMichael. You see them possibly trying, like you have Sprong, Sheary, Eller, and McMichael on the line, and you just kind of rotate Eller and McMichael a little bit at the center position. Basically, switch them almost every shift and to see which one kind of fits better. Do you see them doing that possibly to see if that might work out?
I just think like Laviolette is just so like the only reason that we have the lineups we have now is because of the injuries. He's just like a coach that like once he has something, he's gonna go back to it and back to it and back to it and back. So like I don't think he's like a guy that's gonna experiment too much if he has his guys in the lineup. I would obviously love McMichael to stay at center, and he probably should, but that's just not gonna happen, in my opinion. I mean, he might surprise us. Who knows?
McMichael needs to be in the lineup, dude.
No, if he
He's
straight
so
up just
good.
benches
No, for
fucking
sure.
McMichael, the Twitter's gonna kill him.
Oh
Like,
my god!
It's
I
not
cannot-
like he
that
gives a
day will
shit.
be
We killed him
crazy.
for like the last 2 years and nothing's happened.
No,
Any-
because to
any
be fair, in
any
some
coach
cases,
of the Washington Capitals are gonna kill.
in
It
some
doesn't matter.
cases, he had justifications. Like in some cases, like
The Caps could win the Stanley Cup and go 82-0, and we'd still be coming for his head for
we
something.
still want Blaine Forsythe fired. We'd still want that fucking asshole fired because he doesn't want to change his power play shit. But I think you're a dick, man. You but I think you either do what I said and do that third line rotation, or if you don't trust him yet for that third line, which I don't fucking know why. He took on Jeff Carter tonight and was doing amazing. Like, that's not like some, like, even he's a veteran. I don't give a shit. It's Jeff Carter. He's still really good. And that's an impressive step for me is he's matching up against now these top flight guys and is playing really well. Like, and you can't really sit back and be like, oh, well, it was nothing. He was playing in an injured role, by the way, with wingers who aren't top 6 wingers. I mean, Sprong, but not top 6 wingers. But like you're seeing him play as good as he has. You simply can't just tell him to take a seat. No, if anything, it's going to be Hagelin. The young guys are probably going to go first. Like Protus, I think will go first. AJF will probably go second, and you'll probably see Leeson go last because Leeson's played really well too. I think people are. I'm sold on Leeson being on this team next year at some point. He's incredible. But I think you can't just simply tell him you're going to go take a seat this season with how good he's been. You denying him that, especially since you sent down Hendrix. It's like you can't just be like, nope, fuck you, sit down. No, that you're starting with Michael. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care.
If you had to guess who the 5 players that played the least in this game for the Caps were, who would you guess?
Okay, Leeson, AJF, Protus, Hathaway, and Sprong.
McMichael is one of them. So like I'm just telling you, this dude, he trusts what he knows. So like Garnet Hathaway is never not going to play less than 12 minutes a game. So like once these guys come back for injury, I'm telling you, it's going to be Sprong or McMichael sitting on the bench. Like Connor Sherry played
He's a free agent. I don't care. At this
Connor
point,
Sherry played 16 minutes tonight. So like you know who's going to play.
God, I swear to Christ, this man. How did he ever win a cup? How did Laviolette? How did he take the fucking Hurricanes to a cup? The Hurricanes. God damn it, I hate this man. Okay, but anyways, I get that like he's stubborn, but I think at some point like McMichael, this isn't a case of like it's not like Vrana where Vrana was struggling and he's not playing it. McMichael's playing incredible, and like at some point he's gonna recognize that. Like he's gonna. I don't think he can deny it. Like he keeps scoring, he keeps creating chances, he makes things happen on the ice. I have no idea what the hell that noise was. He keeps like proving himself. We expected this dude to be the next coming of like Jesus, basically.
Jesus.
And now he was like he's living up to it almost. He's incredible.
Right.
Joey just cut out for me.
You just fucking muted me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, whatever. Sorry, I thought you muted me. But basically, he's so good, and I don't think this is gonna be like a Vrana situation where we just piss him off. And I think Laviolette's gonna realize that like he's been one of the big pieces carrying us through this like injury nightmare in the beginning of the season. He's gonna stick with him. I think he will. It's like with Sprong. I think he eventually kind of learned to trust Sprong a lot more. And I think this year him getting benched was just like, you know, a lapse in judgment, I'll call it. But I think we'll see what happens when they come back, because I think it'll be interesting. Jake, what do you think about what Chris said? Sprong McMichael. Do you see that coming down to it, or do you see something else happening?
Sprong or McMichael or Sprong?
Yeah, because when all of them come back, there's going to be a 12th spot right now. Because got
Sprong is is he a free agent this year, coming season?
UFA.
I mean, UFA.
Actually, RFA. He's an RFA. He's an RFA.
RFA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we'll still see more time for Sprong, just as of right now, just because it's Laviolette. and then we'll, I think we'll see Mike Michael more next year, in my opinion. We're gonna see him a lot this year, obviously, and I think he's been like, we all know he's been our best player, but I just think Sprong won't be on the team next year. I have a feeling, so we'll just see a lot more of McMichael, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a lot more productive. I'm not saying Sprong's not productive. Sprong's pretty good, but just McMichael, and he has a lot of hype, and we all know that he has a lot of hype. Like, he's a good player, and I think he's gonna continue to be good throughout the season with the time he has on the ice, and it's gonna transfer into next season as well. So that's all I think.
Jake, check the message chat on Jitsi.
Yeah, I'm excited. Next year's going to be a lot of young guys, I think.
Next year, because I'm curious to see, like Chris said, he thinks that Lapierre is going to be in Hershey possibly all next year. But
I would imagine. I think they'll take the same route like they did with Michael. They'll send him to Hershey for a full season to really get the NHL experience in a way. And
definitely possible.
Because at that point, you'll be 2 years left on the Dowd deal. You'll have Michael as an established center. You could just be like, we can either have it as a winger or trade Dowd. Fuck it.
Anyway, guys, as you know, we got a nice sponsorship from Manscaped. Support of the Pizzas Here podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off, free worldwide shipping with code PHP at manscaped.com. Yes, let me reiterate. Code PHP at manscaped.com. Make your balls look nice.
Your balls will thank you. Got mine right here.
Hell yeah.
Got mine right here. Nice Lawnmower 4.0. If you turn it on, light comes on. So you don't hit anything you're not trying to hit. You got a headlight.
It can turn off. The headlight can turn off.
Yeah,
A couple good guards come, it's great.
Tell me that doesn't just make you want to get your balls all nice and clean. Your balls will thank you. Go shop. Code PHP at manscaped.com.
It's sack look nice.
Hashtag ad, hashtag ManscapedPod.
Hashtag.
All right. So let's talk about the defense. We all know the defense has been a topic of interest so far this year. Chris, what do you think about the defense right now? Who do you think's been playing the best out of our defensive players, and who do you think's not getting their shit right?
Well, let's start with the last one, the latter. I mean, it's obviously John Carlson for me. I feel like he broke his kneecap last season, and he might look like he's lost like half a step or something. I don't know. And his decision making, in my opinion, is always bad. But like this season, he's not really making up for it with like a decision that'll end up with like a sure goal or something like that. On the flip side, though, I think the defense overall has been a strength. Obviously, like we're killing teams, just keeping them to the outside and not giving them too much. And Nick Jensen is I think my top one this season. I mean, if you just like watch him during his shifts, he does so many like little things that will create like a ton of open ice, and it gets the forwards out on a rush like really quickly. Orlov is always good. He's the best defenseman on the team, in my opinion, every year, basically, although he's taking like way too many penalties this season so far. Who else? TVR, obviously. He's making it look really stupid that he didn't play at all last year. Faravari, I guess it's really easy to forget that he's a rookie because of how easily he stepped in. So the defense overall, I don't really have an issue with it. Carlson's negatives get negated by the rest of them, I think. And he's really not that bad. He's just like the whipping boy, I guess, on the team. He's the easy one to point out because the mistakes he does make are very obvious. Like today, their goal is basically on him. The Penguins' goal today is basically on him. But overall, defense is great.
What are your thoughts on Justin Schultz so far? I don't know if I heard you say him in that.
Yeah, Schultz. When he's playing good, you don't notice him. I think he's one of those guys at this point of his career. Like in the past, he was obviously like a big offensive, like defenseman, but I think he's kind of toned that down now. But yeah, like I said, like if you don't notice him, he's probably playing well, and he's on that pair with TVR, and TVR I think can carry a pair. In my opinion, I think he's that good.
Gotcha. Jake, Joey, let me hear one defender you think has stood out to you positively and one negatively.
Marty Party. All right, your turn, Jake.
Okay. Well, all right. Farivar, yes. Orlov, I think Orlov's been playing great. He always plays well, but penalty minutes, yeah, whatever. But he's been very good on the defense. Can I say a player I hate, or are we going that next?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, Carlson.
I'll say I'm not entirely impressed on Schultz. I'm like, we're paying him $4 million a year, and he's been kind of mid. I think obviously it's not a case of I'm seeing him like mess up, which is fine. I'm just not seeing him do anything. And it's like, whether or not he needs like time on the power play, which he's not going to get anymore, or he needs like more ice time, which he's not going to get anymore. That'll be something that happens. The good news is he's a free agent, and there's no chance in hell we resign him. I think Alexiev getting ready. He's going to probably take over. Kempney, we don't need more defensemen that are not playing for us, taking up contract space. So I think it'll obviously be a case of he gets bye-bye wherever the hell he goes. I hope Edmonton overpays him. That'll be hilarious. That'll be funny. They overpay for Cody Ceci and then Justin Schultz. That'll be a card. But yeah, Justin Schultz. I think Carlson is a bit of an interesting one because I think a lot of what makes him good is the power play and how well he is at facilitating that. And with the power play being like a one-trick pony right now, it really is tough for him to kind of be and justify his top 5 minutes. He's not terrible by any stretch of the mat. Like, he's not Seth Jones where he's just getting blown out of his socks every night. It's like he's competent in most cases. He just makes like a couple weird decisions a night, and that's like, it's like, is this going to be a goal or is it going to be like a tremendous save? And it's like, it was a goal and it happens. So I don't really give a shit about Carlson. There are worse situations to be in, and yeah, that's all I got to say about the two defensemen on the Capitals.
Yeah. I don't think either of you said this for your defender that you really like right now, but I'm definitely going to say Nick Jensen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you guys dropped the ball.
Well, because Will's not here. Will's the one that
Nick Jensen. Nick Jensen.
He always here. He reminds
Nick
us
Jensen
about
is
Nick
an
Jensen.
easy pick. Nick Jensen is an easy pick for this question for me. I think he's arguably the defender for us that's just looked the most overall sound. Obviously, so everyone had mixed feelings for Brendan Dillon over the past period of time.
That's a good word.
Anyways, all right, but the thing that like bothered me the most about Brendan Dillon when we had him on our team was his decision making. Like Brendan Dillon's a very talented athlete. He's a talented hockey player. The thing that just really stood out to me the most was his decision making. Like, there was just so many instances where like there was a really easy play to be made and he would do something like completely opposite of it and it would just absolutely ruin us. But Nick Jensen, I feel like, is just a really good decision maker. Like, when he gets it like on our defensive boards and like he's being cornered, like he somehow a lot of the time finds somebody to get it to. A lot of like, and if he has to clear it and just dump it, he somehow does that. He's obviously a very talented defensive player. He definitely locks it down. But I mentioned it before. He leads the frickin' NHL right now in plus minus by 3. Like, I mean, I know plus minus is a pretty misleading stat and can in times be irrelevant or not showing the entire picture. But if you're plus 15 plus minus in the NHL, I mean, that like you have to be doing something good, So Ovechkin's second. He's at 12. Anthony Duclair and Josh Morrissey are second and fourth, and then Draisaitl's fourth, and Orlov is also fourth. There's like 6 people tied for fourth, but Nick Jensen's plus 15 right now. Overall in his game, I just think he looks sound. I think he looks just solid. So, good shit, Nick Jensen. But
If you guys if you remember the Niskanen Orlov pairing from the Cup final,
Yeah.
that year, that pairing was so good. That's what the Jensen and Orlov pairing reminds me of this year.
Yeah,
which is a good sign, obviously.
definitely.
That pair was so good in its prime. I'm not gonna lie.
Matt Niskanen had some tough moments, but I do miss him at times. But
Yeah.
For my defender, who I'm not liking right now, is I'm gonna go with the general opinion and say John Carlson. That one goal where what's the guy's name? Kaliev or something?
Kaliev.
Yeah, Kaliev, whatever. The one goal he had on John Carlson was just inexcusable.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know how to skate. I'm part of a hockey podcast, and I can't skate to save my life.
Too.
I know it's
Me
funny.
too.
I can
But
skate a little bit.
I can't at
you
all.
could put me on the ice in my socks, and I feel like I'll put up a better defensive
I'll just
effort
tackle
than
the
John
fucker.
Carlson.
I'll just tackle the fucker. Take
John
him out of the
Carlson.
play.
We're paying him how much money? He's
$8 million.
won the Norris before he's John Carlson, dude. He's the number 3 of our big 3.
To be fair, that deal,
You
by
gotta
the way,
do
we're
better
approaching
than
the
that.
second half of it. We're not for what it's worth. That deal, we're approaching the second. I think it's in the second half because it was a 7x8. Chris, you might know this better than I do. I think it's a 7x8 for Carlson when it was after the Cup year. Chris, it's a 7x8, right? The contract for Carlson.
I can check real quick.
But I think we're at least approaching the halfway Carlson isn't dog shit.
After this season will be the halfway.
Yeah, so I think 4 more years. I think Carlson still offensively produces well and is defensively not terrible. Plus, we have a bunch of young guys coming in, and they're making him look a lot better. Fevari has been a godsend, by the way. Can y'all remember when
Fevari's been very good.
Fevari has been a godsend to Carlson. I think Carlson's probably thanking every lucky star in the world that Fevari exists, because I don't think he wanted to pulling Orlov away and putting him on Carlson's pairing was fun, but those are our 2 best defensemen and they're on one line. That means if you get to the other lines last season, it was oh, what do we have here? The mystery box of Justin Schultz and Brendan Dillon, or the retirement home of Zdeno Chara and Nick Jensen, who will either score a goal or prolapse. It's sort of I fucking did it again. God damn it. I muted myself. I was looking at the chat and I fucking clicked the mute button. But defensemen are good, but our forwards, I think, have been pretty good. I don't think there's anybody stupendous that we need to talk about that's been bad. I think all of them have performed at least admirably when called upon. Even the guys who called out, Eller, have played well again, half the way scored. I mean, if we all want to call about one, it's Hagelin. I'm going to be real with you. What the fuck is Hagelin doing? But is there one that's really standing out to you, Chris? Is there one that on the Capitals of their forwards that you think is really standing out to you this season so far? Really making you feel the guy does some stuff. That's awesome.
I mean, we've talked about him a lot already because we're kind of on him a little bit now. McMichael, obviously, I was a big fan of him coming in, but the kid has gotten the game hella quick, a lot quicker than I thought he would. And you guys were talking about earlier, his 5v5 numbers are the best on the team, and he should be in this lineup for the next 10 plus years, and it's a really, really good sign that how quickly he's adapted to the NHL game. From a negative side, it's obviously Hagelin. Eller for a while I think was questionable, but I guess he was probably coming off nursing a little something, and he's been really good this past week, so he's good with me. He's in my good books right now.
All right, that's sweet. EA, who do you got as your good player? If you want to say bad, if you just want to yell at Hagelin some more, go ahead.
Good player wise, I mean, Alex Ovechkin. I mean, again,
Ooh.
I think one of the bad things about our power play, I mean, obviously it's inevitable, is that it's very predictable. Like we all said, it's just a constant cycling of Kuznetsov to Carlson. Carlson looks both ways and then passes it to Ovi, and he takes his signature shot. So, it's definitely not good that it's so predictable, but Ovi's still finding ways to score at 36 years of age. It works, not right now, but it's worked, generally. But Ovechkin's still finding ways to score at 36 years old. He's on pace right now for, I believe, 47 goals. He's like 99% likely to come into third place in the goal rankings by the end of the year. So good shit, Alex Ovechkin. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't think you'll stop anytime soon. But yeah, Carl Hagelin looks like dog ass. I cannot skate. I think I'm putting off a better shot than he does on that one breakaway. I mean, come on, you're an NHL player, you're a professional athlete. You shouldn't be as bad consistently at the main focus of your position in your sport as he is. So obviously he's valuable on the penalty kill. Obviously he serves more minutes on the penalty kill than anyone else on our team. But, you got to be able to hold your end on offensive side of things. So he needs to get that shit together. Again, when Backstrom and Dowd come back, we're going to see McMichael probably go to the bench, sadly, or things happen. I would, in the blink of an eye, put McMichael somewhere and take Hagelin out. So, yeah. But we've got a few games coming up.
Jake, who do you got as your good forward? And if you want to yell at Hagelin some more, go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to yell at Hagelin some more, so don't worry.
All right, sweet.
Connor McMichael. I'm just going to say McMichael, just because I love him and he's been playing so well. But that's all. It really needs no explanation because we've explained it so much that
it's like
he's been very good for us.
Oh my God, I love McMichael.
I love him. But yeah, Carl Hagelin. Have you guys ever, when you were younger, have like a fresh new pair of socks and you have a hardwood floor and pretend to skate on it?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6-year-old doing that is better at skating than Carl Hagelin.
That's actually really good. I like that.
Did you guys ever have those little sandal things that you could put on your feet and you'd slide on the carpets? I had a pair of those, even though my house isn't carpeted, so I didn't have much.
Yeah, and that's better than Carl Hagelin.
Better than Carl Hagelin.
I guess I'll go for mine. My one forward. I'm gonna go out of the box here. I'm gonna pick Hathaway. I was gonna talk about this last week. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Hathaway, he did not look very good in the first few games, but he had definitely he was looking phenomenal the past couple games. And if this is the Hathaway we're seeing, we're paying him vet minimum stuff to be this. I'm down for that.
He hadn't scored a goal until Friday, had he?
Yeah, and he scored 3 now, which is top 5 on the team.
He hadn't scored a goal until Friday, and now he has 3.
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
And as for my bad forward, Hagelin's an easy pick. Yeah, I think it's just Hagelin. I don't know what the fuck this dude is. He's such an enigma as a hockey player. It's so weird. He's a defensive mastermind. He is incredible in his own end. There is nothing stopping that. He is great at passing the puck, skating. But the second you tell this man, shoot at that open net, he's like, fuck, and shoots it in the fucking stands. I cannot tell you, how weird this goddamn man is. If this dude had half the scoring touch Ovechkin did, he would be scoring 50 goals a year with how great of chances he's gotten, with how fast and skilled he is, and I just would love it. I would love it if Hagelin started playing better. I'm not saying in a perfect world, Hagelin scores a bunch of goals and I'm a happy man, but this isn't a perfect world and Hagelin isn't scoring. So, yeah, Hagelin's my guy, and no, Chris got to do this one. Chris did this one.
I'll also add, I think Kuznetsov's been playing well. Obviously, he's top 6 in the NHL in points. One thing,
I'm still not apologizing.
From a spectator point to Kuznetsov, you get 4 breakaway chances a game. At some point, you're going to have to not just every single time go from forehand to your backhand and try to go 5-hole. It works a lot, but people are going to start picking up on that. NHL goaltenders obviously watch film. They're going to see that you do that every single time and pick up on it, like today Jari did. So you got to pull something else out of the bag.
Matter in the end because he still scored.
I think Japers Drink said it he scored the one that mattered, and he can miss any other one after the one he scored in Pittsburgh in the playoffs. He can miss every shot he takes from the rest of his life, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, I agree. So now
we've got ourselves the predictions for this week. There are 3 games this week. Obviously, tonight there was a game, but we started during it. Capitals won 6-1. If you don't know that by this point, when it gets up on Monday, tomorrow, that's your own fault. But we have got ourselves going up against the Ducks, the Kings, and the Sharks. If my memory serves me correctly, I'm going to check this real quick.
Ducks, Kings, and Sharks.
No, I'm checking. We are going to play at the Ducks.
Oh.
So we're heading out west to the good old California. We're going to go play California teams. I'm so excited. The Ducks, the Kings, the Sharks, and then we also play Seattle on Sunday, and that's a late game. That's 9 o'clock.
Dude, I completely forgot that Anaheim is in California.
Nice.
I don't know why. I thought it was like somewhere higher.
It's always been considered like a near suburb of Los Angeles. People don't consider it its own city sometimes, which if you're from Anaheim, fuck you. I don't care what I say. I'm kidding. I love people from Anaheim. But the point is your predictions for this game. Let's start with Chris. You got Ducks at the Ducks, at the Kings, at the Sharks. And if you want to predict, you can predict. It is going to be at the Seattle Kraken. We're going to be going to Seattle for the first time.
Do Seattle next episode because we'll be recording.
Fair enough. Never mind. Don't do Seattle. Sorry, Chris.
Okay. Well, the Ducks are like really hot. So the Caps though. I'll say maybe an OT loss there. First game in California. Maybe a little travel woes. I don't know. Then I think take care of the Kings and Sharks both. So we'll go 2-0-1.
I like that. All right. Yay, what you got?
Do you want me to go? Or
All right.
you go? Yeah.
I'll go first.
I'll both shook our heads.
Out.
All right. Ducks, I think it's definitely going to be a close one. The Ducks, like you said, have been really hot for the last week or two. I'm going to say we beat the Sharks. I mean, not Sharks. I'm going to say we beat the Ducks in the first game of the road trip. I'm going to say we beat the Ducks. But I believe, we play the Kings the day after, so it's a doubleheader. We are going to lose to the Kings. The King have they lost yet, or are they still on a streak?
They're still on a streak.
Still on a streak.
They're on a 7 or 8 game win streak right now.
I think it's 7.
They're okay. Yeah.
Unless they won. I don't know. Oh wait, didn't they play yesterday?
I don't know.
But point is, the Kings are all of a sudden very, very good.
Oh, they lost.
The Kings lost yesterday.
Did they lose yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Jets.
They lost. They lost yesterday to the Jets. So I think we lose to the Kings. The Kings have looked really good lately.
And the Sharks.
Me and Jake were talking on Twitter with is he one of your friends, Jake?
Yeah, the boy Andrew Brown. He goes to UCLA, but he went to QO. But he's a Caps fan, but since he's out there, he goes to Kings games. But yeah.
He's gonna go to the game when the Caps come into town.
Jonathan Quick Vezina season coming this year.
No, I think he's on break.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
He said never bet against the Kings, and I should have listened to him.
Yeah, both times that me and Jake bet against the Kings, they ended up winning.
They
in
won,
good fashion.
So we just started doing it. But he's the boy. Shout out Andrew.
But I say we lose to the Kings, then I think we can beat the Sharks. The Sharks started off the season really hot, but as of late, they haven't looked that way. Also for the Ducks did beat the Canucks 5-1 today. Zegras scored again. Milano scored. Henrix scored, and Steele scored. I don't know. The Sharks. I think the Sharks is going to be close just because we're always close. But they lost to the Avs 6-2 yesterday, and I don't think they look as good as they did to start the season. So I'll say we can beat the Sharks. So I'll say 2-1.
Yep.
Is Ricardo Kell dead? Is he not on the Ducks anymore? What the hell happened to Ricardo Kell?
I don't
know. Injured?
I think we.
I like Ricardo Kell. What happened?
I think we beat the Ducks. Troy Terry is going off for the Ducks, but
yeah,
I think we power through it. Sorry, got a burp. Excuse me.
Nice.
I think we power through it. Beat them. I think it's gonna be a close game. We don't beat the Kings. Don't bet against the Kings. Shout it. And then I think we beat the Sharks as well. I mean, when was the last time we played the Sharks? It wasn't.
It wasn't last season. I think it was
15 seconds.
It's been forever.
Game, but I don't know.
No, that was it. That was it. You're right. That's
don't we usually do well against the Sharks? I don't know.
We don't play well in San Jose. We play like ass there.
Whatever. It's San Jose. We'll beat them.
All right, I'll go.
Honestly, we might not beat the Ducks. I don't know. Troy
I'm
Terry
thinking
is
Ducks
playing
we win in
insane.
overtime. Kings we lose in overtime. Sharks we beat handily.
Okay.
Ovechkin goals in each of those games, so it's a 3-0 week anyways. And then I'm not going to pick the Kraken game, even though I'm repping my boys. If you haven't seen the chat, I'm repping Seattle. I got
should have worn
Jordan
my
Eberle
shirt.
jersey.
I have a Kraken shirt.
Because
We're not a Kraken podcast.
I love the
Who cares?
Kraken.
I'm wearing an Ohtani jersey.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty
so,
cool. I love this jersey. But that is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 2-1 or 3-0 as we're really calling it, and that will do it for the predictions.
So,
And
to wrap things up, we'll start off with Chris for this one. But let's give one team that's impressing you right now. It doesn't have to be like the entire season, just like recently. Somebody that's caught your eye is looking good right now, and one player. They don't have to be on the same team. Just one team and one player.
From a team perspective, I mean, I don't want to. I think you guys were talking about this earlier. I think it's the Oilers. The Oilers are so good because of those two guys. Their power play is like a cheat code. I mean, that team is just ridiculous. If they get any semblance of goaltending, they should be making the Western Conference Final in 8 games. Like, they're just ridiculous. But from like an individual player perspective, like Jordan Kyrou on the Blues has just jumped out of nowhere. He's got like over a point per game. Even like Vlad Tarasenko, like this is a guy that like people were wondering if he would get traded for nothing just as a salary dump. He's like a point per game player too. So those two guys.
yeah, I got you. I'll go next.
You guys can go.
Team. Fuck. Not gonna lie, I haven't paid attention to the teams.
All right,
I think
I can go.
you
if
go.
you
You go.
want.
I'm gonna think a little bit.
All right. For teams, I don't want to say it, but I'm definitely going to say the New York Rangers. The Rangers have been winning some noticeable games lately. Monday they beat the Panthers 4-3. Kreider scored, Fox scored, Miller scored, and Strome scored. They almost blew the 4-0 lead. They came back and made it 4-3, but yeah. Then who else did they just beat? They beat the Blue Jackets on Saturday 5-3, and Kreider again. Panarin scored twice, and Kreider had a. Did he have a hat trick? I apologize,
Yeah,
but
just
okay, yeah. Kreider had 2. Kreider has 11 goals right now. If Chris Kreider somehow wins the Rocket, I will not watch hockey ever again. But the Rangers look good now. They're winning some good games. But for player, I'm gonna say Troy Terry. Sorry, Jake, but
No, it's fine. I'm saying.
So Troy Terry right now has 19 points. He's 5th in the NHL. I'll also say Kyle Connor. I hope that wasn't your other guy.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, so Troy Terry and Kyle Connor both have 11 goals right now. Yeah, Troy Terry has like what'd you say, a 14-game point streak or something?
Yeah, he got another point today. So
and then the obvious answer is Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl's playing out of his mind. He leads the league in points by 4 right now. If he wins the Hart, I'll be exceptionally happy. Got my jersey right there. Go Germany. But yeah, Kyle Connor and Troy Terry have looked insane. Draisaitl's Draisaitl. But go ahead, Jake.
Whatever, yeah. For the team, I'm gonna say the Kings. They had a 7-game win streak. They lost yesterday to the Jets, but they've been working very well. I don't think people expected them to do very well this year, but they have. Jonathan Quick's been playing pretty good. How old is Jonathan Quick? Do we know?
Old.
He's been in the league for a little bit, right?
Old.
Yeah, he's been playing well for his age.
His prime was like 2012. That's all you need to know.
Exactly, but he's been playing well this season for some reason. But I don't know. They keep getting the job done. I mean, they had the 7-game winning streak. Obviously, they just lost, but I think they're going to continue to do well. For my player, I'm saying Matt Duchene. He has 15 points in his last 10 games.
Good pick.
Yeah. The Duchene Granlund duo has been ridiculously good. in the last few games. Sorry, AirPods. But yeah, the Duchesne Granlund duo has been great in the last couple games. So my player is Duchesne. He's been playing out of his mind.
That's a good take. He's bounced
I
back
have
a
him on
lot.
fantasy.
I do, or I don't. I have Troy Terry on fantasy though. I got him on waivers. Go pick up Troy Terry. He's like only owned in like 60% of leagues. It's insane because people don't check waivers in fantasy. It's hilarious.
All right. I just did some handy dandy research. I'm gonna start my player.
Also, Mangiapane.
Bro, one.
Was that your guy?
I'm gonna start my team this time.
You can elaborate.
Fuck you. I'm gonna start my team because I was gonna pick Mangiapane. You dick. So
one player, EA.
You just can't stop talking. I'm kidding. But I think for the team, I'm definitely going to be picking, I think someone said Edmonton. I'm going to pick Anaheim as a whole. I think Troy Terry is a big cause of that, but Getzlab has been playing well. Their defense is really good. And obviously John Gibson is finally back and is finally ripping the souls from people. And for my I didn't check this entirely, but I think they're doing all this without Ricard Raquel, which if they're doing all this without Ricard Raquel,
I feel like he was playing at some point recently. I saw him score like a week ago.
Let's see. He's not been playing. I'm trying to see. Just give me a second.
Also, about Mangiapane. He's only played Mangiapane. The Flames were doing insanely well recently. I think they were my pick last episode, but they've kind of been on a little bit of a steady downfall right now.
They won tonight.
Did they? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They won 4-0 tonight, right? Or something?
They shut them out.
They lost to the Leafs on Friday, and they lost to the Canadiens on Thursday. And they lost to the Sharks on Tuesday. So,
all right.
Maybe
I got my player.
Maybe the Flames' good start was a fluke, but we don't know.
I got my good player. My good player is none other than Mr. Eberle himself. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I bought the jersey and literally the first night, I'm a former receiver. The first night I get the jersey, this dude pulls out a hat trick and then has scored in 4 straight games. My hair's fucked up. But he scored in 4 straight games, and it's insane. And I love Jordan Eberle. I get to like Jordan Eberle now, people. This is amazing stuff for me. And he's been awesome. And I expected him to be the leading scorer for Seattle with how talented he is and being the top guy now, like he wasn't in New York with Barzell, Wallstrom, Beauvillier, all that stuff. I love Jordan Eberle, and it's awesome. The Kraken suck, but Eberle's cool. So,
Chris, do you have any questions for us or anything that you wanted to talk about with us that we haven't gotten to yet, just before we wrap up?
Not really. You guys have covered this is a really good job, guys. I'm just saying. You guys have covered everything in my very biased opinion because you invited me on here, but I think you guys did a really good job.
Can you post an article about us?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm gonna post. I will put this in the numbers post tomorrow.
If you post an article about me, dude, I will buy any and everything. I will buy whatever membership I need for RMNB and read it.
I'll buy stock if you have stock.
I'll buy stock.
If you have NFTs.
NFTs. RMNB to the moon, baby.
RMNB coin.
RMNB coin. Get it started. It's just a picture of Alex Ovechkin on a coin.
I gotta find a quote.
The legendary
you guys can keep talking.
But I will go ahead and wrap this up. First things first, Mr. Chris, very important tradition. This is the most, we can't post this without an answer. What is your favorite kind of pizza?
It can't just be cheese or pepperoni.
Yeah, that's too basic.
I think I would have to go, maybe crispy bacon, little green pepper action.
Is that backwards?
No.
You said pepper
and
action?
maybe
What kind of pepper?
Yeah, green peppers and crispy bacon. I'll go with that.
Ooh.
Bacon and peppers and bacon or something.
That's I like that.
That's
green peppers are actually a very slept-on vegetable.
Yeah.
I like green peppers.
That's awesome, Chris. Thank you. EA, take us out with the quote of the day, and I will wrap it up. EA, give the people what they need.
Also, if you're listening right now, you've made it to the end. Thank you for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to our show. We can't do this without you.
You're all awesome.
Chris, thank you for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure having you. Yeah.
Anytime,
But-
boys.
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Pretty
So,
awesome, man.
Hell
All right.
Yeah, give us that awesome quote for the
if
day.
you
and
let
I'll
me
take us
think,
out.
I might find one.
Let you think is my.
All right. Hold on.
We're doing this live.
Yes, we are doing this live. All right. Master
Oh,
Oogway from frickin' Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Master
Yesterday is
Uwe.
history. Tomorrow is a mystery.
I love
but
Master
today
Uwe.
is a
RIP,
gift.
my man.
Are you gonna let me say the quote? I gotta start over now. This is why our show times are so long. All right, Master Oogway, Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Go out, chase your dreams, seize the day. What's the term for that? Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
Carpe
on, Chris.
diem.
Thanks for listening
Chris,
today. We
you're
love
a
you all.
legend and a
Be
G.
safe.
Go
Be
listen
safe.
to Donda Deluxe. It just came out.
No, don't sponsor Kanye West.
Go
He
listen to
doesn't need
Pieces
us.
Your podcast.
If
Anyways,
anything, listen to us on Spotify, then Donda. Chris,
Yeah.
thank you again.
We're on Spotify
Ladies
and
gentlemen,
Apple now,
yes,
baby.
we're on Apple Music now too. It's
Apple-
awesome.
Apple Podcasts.
Thanks, DA, for getting that set
Apple
up. Thanks, DA,
Podcasts.
for setting up this live stream. If you're here live, you've been great and amazing, and we will see you guys.
And this will be on YouTube.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.